of the topic that we discussed last meeting. So let me just present this one first. Here we discuss. Last time we discussed lecture 13. Started with the first part of differential equation. So this is the second part, 13b. This is still on differential equation. What we had last time was introduction to differential equation. We discussed, can you see the shared screen? Hello?
Wala, ma'am.
Wala pa.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Na, ma'am.
Nakita na. Okay, sige. So, we have here solutions of differential equations. We discussed last meeting your initial value problem as well as up to yes, itong tatlo na, definition of ordinary and partial differential equation, solutions of differential equations, up to initial value problem. So this time we're going to discuss separation of variables, and next meeting we're going to discuss elementary application like your velocity of escape and orthogonal trajectories. For this time, we are on separation of variables. For separation of variables, our intended learning outcome is that at the end of this topic, you should be able to solve problems involving your ordinary and partial differential equations. Specifically, be able to use separation of variables to solve your differential equation. So for the solution of your differential equation known as your separable differential equation, these are actually used in um, physics, chemistry, and engineering. What we're going to do is to illustrate a few applications later on, no, sa next section. What is a separable differential equation? It is an equation of the form y prime equals f of x gy. Meaning to say you have a function in terms of x and a function in terms of y. Your y prime is actually your dy dx, or dy over dx. When you say separable, you can actually rewrite it such that the right-hand side, itong part na yun, of the equation can be separated into a function of x times a function of y. So these are some examples of separable differential equation. You have the first derivative of y is equal to x squared minus 4, 3y plus 2. Let me just use a pointer here. And first derivative of y equal to 6x squared plus 4x is 1. First derivative of y equal to second y plus tangent y. First derivative of y is equal to xy plus 3x minus 2y minus 6. And notice that for the second equation, this is actually separable with f of x equal to 6x squared plus 4x and g of y, understood, times 1 dito, no? So g of y is 1. Dito sa first equation, ang f of x nyo is x squared minus 4 and then ang g of y is 3y plus 2. Okay? So sa third equation, ito, ang f of x naman ninyo ang 1 kasi this is your g of y, second y plus tangent y. And the right-hand side of the fourth equation, this one, this is the fourth equation, can be factored as may ano pala dito, may error. Typo kay this is supposed to be xy, kay xy. Then dapat 3y ito ha. This should be 3y. And this is minus 2x. This is minus 2x. It should be 3y minus 2x. Let me just yung ball pen. Pen ko. Okay, nag-edit. correction. Should be wait, ha? Pen. Dapat to nito. Should be rewritten as be 3y minus 2x. Should be 3y, 3y yan. 3y, then minus this is 2x. 2x. Okay? So, ang third equation, take this one, is called your autonomous differential equation because the right-hand side of the equation is a function of y alone. Okay? So, kaya tawag autonomous. Pero remember na dito sa third equation, ang f of x ninyo dito is equal to 1. Dito, ang g of y ninyo ang equal sa 1. Dito, ang f of x, again, is x squared minus 4. Ang g of y is 3y plus 2. Now, if a differential equation is separable, then it is possible to solve the equation using the method of separation of variables. So that's what we are interested in. We're going to solve the differential equations using separation of variables. So we have the following definition. Your first order differential equation is said to be separable if it can be rewritten in this form. G of y is equal to G of y times y prime is equal to h of x, where your y prime is your dy over dx, or derivative of y with respect to x. So to solve the separable differential equation, now we can rewrite the equation, this one, g of y times dy is equal to h of x dx. Why? Kasi this is, your y prime is dy over dx, di ba? So, h of x, you can just cross multiply your dx there. So, you get now the integral, because you are able to separate, you can take the integral now of g of y dy here equals the integral of h of x dx. Yan. Kung na integral ito, kung na yan, you come up with this one. That is to solve the separable differential equations. If we rewrite the equation g of y prime is equal to h of x, di ba masulat yan as g of y, ito, y prime is your dy over dx equal to h of x. So, you can write dy is equal to h of x, itong dx punta dyan. Then, you integrate both sides to come up with integral nitong dy. So, you have this, integral ng h of x dx, you have that one. So if we evaluate both sides of this integrals, then we get an equation relating to x and y, which no longer involves your y prime. Wala na siyang y prime bale. Yan, wala ng y prime. So, natanggal na yung y prime, napalitan ng dy dx. So, ito na itsura niya. Now, this is the problem-solving strategy. Guys, are you still with me? Hello, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Klaro pa ang slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here, number 1. The first thing that you have to do when you solve using separation of variables is to check for any values of y that make g of y equal to 0, because these correspond to your constant solutions. Second step would be to rewrite the differential equation in this form. D of y or dy over g of y is equal to f of x dx. Okay? Actually, ang y prime man kay dy with respect to x, diba? dx, then you have your f of x gy. So, i-rewrite na lang siya ng ganito na form para separate na ang inyong function of y dy and function of x dx separate na. So then, the next step, because it's already separated, then you can have your integration. So integrate both sides of this equation. Possible na integrate, na? After that, solve the resulting equation for y if it is possible. So if an initial condition exists, then after solving for y, you need to substitute the appropriate values for x and y. into the equation and solve for the constant. Then note that this step 4, solve the resulting equation for y if possible. So it's also possible na hindi siya masolve, no? So it's not always possible to obtain y as an explicit function of x. Quite often, we have to be satisfied with finding y as an implicit function of x. In some of your activity, the answer will be an implicit function of x. Take the following example. Find the general solution to the differential equation y prime is equal to x squared minus 4 times 3y, quantity 3y plus 2. So, you're asked to use the method of separation of variables. For the solution, diba? Follow the 5-step method of separation of variables. Ano yung first step? The first step was to check for any values of y that make g of y equal to 0, because this will correspond to your constant solutions. So, if you take a look at this one, you have f of x equal to x squared minus 4. Diba yung f of x nyo yan? Just use the pointer para mas klaro. Ito, itong f of x ninyo. Ang g of y ninyo is 3y plus 2, which is this. Okay. Then after that, it says that make g of y equal to 0. So your g of y equal to 0. We solve for that one. Solve na lang natin para makita ninyo. Here. Wala, madali lang, pero sometimes mas maganda pag makita. Di bale, g of y equals 3y plus 2. But you let your g of y, it says g of y equal to 0. So 0 equals 3y plus 2. So you have 3y equals negative 2. Then therefore y equals negative 2 over 3. Which is this? Ito. Yung constant solution ninyo. Now what's the second step? The second step is to rewrite the differential equation in the form dy over g of y equals f of x dx. So, that's what we do. Bale, dy, okay, over 3y plus 2, that is supposed to be your g of y, no? G of y, 3y plus 2, ito, you have that, equals x squared minus 4, that is your ito, f of x, so you have x squared minus 4. Yan na form, no? Bale, walang sulat yun. Yan. So, dy is your, ito, g of y is your 3y plus 2 from here. And x equals x squared minus 4, that's your f of x dx. And then the next step is to integrate both sides of the equation. So, integrate yan. So, you will have integrate of dy over 3y plus 2 equals integral of x squared minus 4 dx. So, I'm giving you time to do that. You have 3 minutes. Sige, solve nyo muna to. What is the integral of dy 3y plus 2? So, it's the time right now. Let's dito sa watch ko is 4:50. So, you have 3 minutes. At 4:53, let me see your answer, or you can dictate your answer. You have your ball pen and paper with you, diba? So, try to integrate that one. I'm giving you 3 minutes to do that. Please sound off, ha? Pag may nakatapos sa inyo pag-integrate nitong dy over 3y plus 2 and then integrate x squared minus 4 dx. Naka-on ang microphone. So we have here, it's 4:53 already. Sinong naka-answer, class?
So, ang first sa left side, ma'am, kay 1/3 ln 3y plus 2.
Okay, let's see your answer. We let u be equal to 3y plus 2. Correct? Okay, then, ang du ninyo is 3 dy dx,
Mhm.
dx, no? 3 dy. So you have, when you integrate, you let u be 3y plus 2. Okay, tingnan natin. So your du will now be equal to 3 dy, correct? So you have du over 3
Equals dy.
equals dy. Okay, ito, mirewrite yan ngayon na integral of, you have du over 3
1 over
okay,
u.
times u, yes, which is equal to 1/3 integral of du over 3, which, integral
Over
of
u.
du over u, which is equal to 1/3
ln
ln of
u.
u. But your ln of u, that's 1/3 ln of 3y
3y plus 2.
plus 2. Okay, plus c, di ba? So, you have the correct answer there. How about sa kabila?
X
Correct
cube
yung answer.
over 3
X
minus
cube over
4x.
3 minus 4x.
Okay, correct. Yes. So, yan.
Plus u1.
1/3 over 1 over u du, x squared over 3 minus 4x plus c. At ito, magkaroon din yan plus c dyan actually, di ba? Ayan, 1/3 ln of u equals 1/3 x cubed minus 4x plus c. But, okay, that is rewritten as ito, 1/3 ln of cy plus 2. Dapat magbalik kayo sa original na value, correct? So,
Yes, ma'am.
1/3 x cubed minus 4x plus c. So, the next step here is to get rid of the fraction. So, you multiply both sides by 3, yes, so that you will come up with this quantity. Ani, come up mo o multiply both sides of the equation by 3 so that you can come up with ito. ln 3y plus 2 equals x cubed minus 12x plus 3c. So, from here, you need again to solve for y. Sige. Please continue. Naabot magkahamo ani 1/3 ln of 3y plus 2, di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Naabot mo ani. Then the next step kay, you multiply both
Exponentiate.
sides by 3. Okay, so come up with. So, what are we going to do next? What's the next step pag nakaabot na ani? To solve
Exponentiate
for
both
y.
sides, ma'am. Para
Yes,
matangkang
very
ln.
good. So, yes. So, you will have e to the, bali, nangyari nito, saan yan? Wait. Ito. You will have e to the ln of 3y plus 2 plus e to the, is equal to e to the x cubed minus 12x plus 3c.
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Okay. So, ang nangyari niyan? Yan na ang, exponentiate both sides. You will come up with that. E to the ln of 3y plus 2 equals e to the x cubed minus 12x plus c1. What is e to the ln of 3y plus 2?
3y plus 2, ma'am.
Absolute value,
Yes, ma'am.
di ba? Absolute value 3y plus 2. And then, kaning e to the x cubed minus 12x plus c sub 1, ang result niyo kay e to the x cubed minus 12x times e to the c sub 1.
Yes.
Correct? May kanilang manang na ay variable na x. So, times e to the c sub 1. But e to the c sub 1 is a constant. Correct? So, from here, we have this. E to the c sub 1, e to the x cubed minus 12x. Pero kani siya, kani is another constant. So, this constant can just be rewritten as a constant c sub 2. Ito. itong e to the c sub 1 can be rewritten as simply a constant c sub 2. Pwede rin c lang, no? Pero, okay, lagi hapon ng c sub 2. Then, you have to consider that your c sub 2 should be greater than 0 because if you take a look, this is an absolute value. So, note that c sub 2 in this case is actually greater than 0. Okay? Because of this. So, when you define that one, you have to be very careful that because it's an absolute value there, then you c sub 2. But when you get rid of the absolute value notation, what do we have? Ito na, i-rewrite muna natin yung e to the c sub 1 as c sub 2. And then when you get rid of the absolute value notation, you will have the following. Wala na yung absolute value, that becomes c sub 2 e to the x cubed minus 12x. And the other one is that 3 plus y equals the negative. Diba? Pagtanggal
Yes, ma'am.
absolute, the negative of c sub 2 e to the x cubed minus 12x. Is this clear? Ito na step. Algebra yan, di ba? Algebra yan. Pagtanggal yung absolute value, this is actually the result. So that, remember, we are still trying to solve for y. So, the solution to either equation can be rewritten in this form. Negative 2 plus or minus c sub 2 e to the x cubed minus 12x over 3. Is this clear? Hindi pa. Bali, ganito kasi. You have ito, this one, for that one. That is your
So, final
3y.
answer, ma'am, is a function of ano lang, ma'am? Function of x.
Yes.
Y equals something lang.
3y plus 2 equals c2e to the x cubed minus 12x. So, masolve man ni siya as 3y equals, balihin na siya, negative 2 plus, okay, c sub 2e to the x cubed minus 12x. Then, divide both sides by 3. That's why you have y equals negative 2 plus c sub 2. This is plus. C sub 2e to the x cubed minus 12 over 3. But remember na hindi lang yan, meron pa itong isa. Ito, there you have there, 3y plus 2 equals negative c sub 2 e to the x cubed minus 12x. So you have 3y is equal to negative 2 minus c sub 2 e to the x cubed minus 12x. Minus 12x. Ayan, minus 12x. So, y is equal to negative 2 minus c sub 2 e to the x cubed minus 12x all over 3. Kaya yung answer dito yan, minus 2 plus galing dito, and then minus galing dito, so minus 2 pa rin, c sub 2. Okay? But then, ang c sub 2 is greater than 0, okay? So it does not matter whether we use plus or minus here. Basta meron kang ano yan, the constant can actually have an either sign. So furthermore, in subscript, because you know that it's just a constant, you can simply rewrite this as c. Constant lang yan siya. So there, you now have the following. The solution can now be rewritten as negative 2 plus, para ma-simplify lang yan, c, instead of c sub 2, it's just a constant, e x cubed minus 12x over 3. So, because there is no initial condition imposed, then this is now your answer. Y equals negative 2 plus c e to the x cubed minus 12x over 3. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Class? Sige. Now, the second example here, you are still asked to use the method of separation of variables. Kasi yun yung topic natin. So, pero this time, we have an initial value problem. is you're asked to solve for y prime equals to x plus 3 times the quantity y squared minus 4 with an initial condition that is y at 0 is equal to negative 3. So again, the solution, ang first step is to follow the 5-step method of separation of variables. So in this example, ang f of x ninyo is your 2x plus 3 and ang g of y is y squared minus 4. And you can set g of y equal to 0. Okay, g of y equal to 0, you will have y equal to 0. Ay naman, madali lang man yan, pero sometimes hindi makita kaagad kung hindi isulat. So, let us just write that down. G of y, okay, g of y, ayaw magsulat ng ballpen. Just, sana yung ballpen natin? Ayan. Alam mo yung kanina. Ayan. G of y, G, G of y. Ba't tayo magsulat ng ballpen? Wait. Okay. G of y equals, ayan. G of y equal to 0, but your g of y is y squared minus 4. So you have 0 equals y squared minus 4. So you have 4 equals y squared. Then taking the square root of both sides. So square root of 4 is equal to y squared square root. But that is equal to square root of 4. That's equal to plus or minus 2 equal to your y. So you have that. So ito. Then the next step would be to divide both sides of the equation by y squared minus 4 and multiply by dx. Ito, that's what you're going to do. dy divided by y squared minus 4 equals to x plus 3 multiplied by dx. So again, I'm giving you the time to work on the next step, di ba? Kunin ang integral nito. Correct? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
class? Okay. Now, when you take the hint here is that you have, di ba, y squared minus 4, you have to make use of your partial fraction. Okay? So, I'll give you mga 4 minutes to solve for the integral of this. Integral of this dy, y squared minus 4, integral of 2x plus 3 dx. Sige, so, you have 4 minutes to do it. It's 5:08. So, by 5:12. Hint, itong side nito kailangan ng partial fraction. Please sound off pag na-solve na ninyo ha, by partial fraction. We have 2 more minutes.
Sa left side, ma'am, kay
Yes? Nanay naka-answer? Sige daw.
sa
Kaning
left side
second part
kay
pa yun. Mhm.
sa left side kay negative 1/4 ln y plus 2 plus 1/4 ln y minus 2.
May LN. Tingnan natin ha. Wala na ibang
Wala din.
answer. Yun lang yung naka-answer. Okay. Let's see. Integrate both sides. Integral 1 over y squared minus 4 dy equals to x plus c dx. So, we have to rewrite it as such. Ano siyang iyang integral? Okay, 1/4 ln of, ano yung answer mo? Ln of y minus 2
Yes, ma'am.
minus ln of y
Y
plus
plus 2.
2. Correct? Which is equal to x squared plus 3x plus
3x
c.
plus c.
Yes. Ang crucial part nito is itong pag-solve sa partial fraction. Is everybody familiar with your partial fraction? Sa ano, Mat 61 ba ninyo yung partial fraction? Naalala nyo pa paano yan isolve? Sige, as it is, tanggapin muna natin yan ha, na ito yung solution. Correct man yung answer niya, 1/4 ln of y minus 2 minus ln of y. Pero how was this solved? Paano yan na-solve? Okay. We will go to that one later on. Just give you a review kung nalimutan na ninyo. So multiplying both sides of this equation, just like what we did, by 4 and replacing your 4c with c sub 1, kasi di ba 4c man yung result niya dito, 4c. With c sub 1, it will give you ln of y minus 2 minus ln of y plus 2, just like what we did, di ba? Multiply both sides by 4. Was 4x squared plus 12x plus c sub 1. So you multiply it by 4 to get rid of the fraction there. So, ito ng result. Is this clear from this step to this step?
Yes,
Class?
ma'am.
O, sige. So, from there, you are familiar with this one. ln of y minus 2. Pag minus ka na siya, mahimo siyang division, di ba?
Division.
Yes. Y minus 2, y plus 2 equals 4x squared plus 12x plus c sub 1. Then, you know what's the next step? What's the next step?
Exponentiate.
Exponentiate. Yes. So, take that one. Sandali. Ito yung sa method of partial fraction. Let me just show you the solution para doon sa mga nakalimot. So, di ba ang 1 over y squared minus 4 is equal to a over y minus 2 plus b over y plus 2. Is this the method that you made use of kanina sa pag-solve?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, di ba yan siya? I-rewrite yan siya ganyan, no? Then after that, so you come up with 1 over, ito may yung factors niya, y minus 2, y plus 2. The same yan dyan. Cause this. So to get rid of the fraction, what do you do again? You multiply by the LCD, which is y minus 2 times y plus 2. So you come up with this. Okay? Y minus 2, y plus 2. So ang result niya, ito, cancel out yan, cancel out yan. 1 na lang itong dito sa kabilang side. And this one, a over y minus 2 times that will give you, makancel yung y minus 2, y minus 2. So, a times y plus 2. Tapos, plus b, ito makancel ang y, ang y plus 2 tsaka y plus 2 makancel. So, yun, b times y minus 2. So, you have this. Okay? Diba? Makancel ito. So, yan dito, 1 na lang. So, a, ang y minus 2, y minus 2, so y plus 2 sa taas. So, we get rid of the fraction. So, from here, this is 1 man ang nasa left side. So, this is ay plus 2a plus by minus 2b. Ayan. So, yan. Diba? ay plus 2a plus by minus 2b. And then, yung may mga y, ito ay plus by at saka 2a minus 2b, you group them together to come up with, okay, ay plus by, so ay plus by, and then 2a, this is 2a, quantity yan, minus 2b, we group that, Notice na wala mang y ito. So, meaning to say, a plus b is equal to, anong a plus b?
0.
0, yes. Tapos, ito, if we take a look, 2a minus 2b, yan yung constant, so that's equal to 1. And then, what do you do next? You solve for,
Elimination. Solve for A and B.
okay. So, pwede man ito siya to be able to get rid of one of the variables. You have 2a plus 2b, multiply this with 2. So, come up with 2a plus 2b, then 2a minus 2b. Pwede nyo na ma-eliminate ang b so that you can come up with 2a plus 2a. You have 4a equals, this is 0 there, so 1. No? So, a therefore is equal to 1/4. But remember na kailangan nyo isolve din ng b. So, sa b naman, you can make use of this equation. Pwede yan siya. Okay, a plus b equal to 0, then substitute ang a equals 1/4. So 1/4 plus b equal to 0, b therefore equals negative 1/4. So meron ka ng value ng a which is 1/4 and b which is negative 1/4. So you can now say that this one is equal to this 1/4 over y minus 2 plus negative man ng b, no? Negative 1/4 y plus 2. Dapat consistent na pag sa y minus 2, you have positive 1/4. So y plus 2, negative 1/4. So we need to say 1/4 over 1 over y minus 2 ay 1/4 times the quantity 1 over y minus 2 minus 1 over y plus 2, which is what we had earlier in kanina. Ayan, 1/4 1 over y minus 2 minus 1 over y plus 2. Okay? So, solve this equation for y. Yung kanina, siningit ko lang kasi yun. So, you now have this. After exponentiation, you come up with y minus 2 over y plus 2 equals c sub 2 e to the 4x plus 12x. Meaning to say, you have remove this absolute value and let your c sub 2 be either positive or negative. Then multiply both sides by y plus 2. And then, we will now have y minus 2 equals c sub 2, because multiply yung y plus 2, which is this, e to the 4x squared plus 12x. So you have e to the 4x squared plus 12x. Remember, we have to solve for the value of y, correct? So y minus 2 equals, you can distribute c sub 2y times e to the 4x squared plus 12x, which is this. Then you have 2 times c sub 2, 2 times c sub 2 times e to the 4x squared plus 12x, which is this one. Combining yung may y, okay, collect all terms involving y on one side of the equation and solve for y. You have now this one, y minus c sub 2y e to the 4x squared plus 12x equals 2 plus 2 times c sub 2 e to the 4x squared plus 12x. So may y ito, may y. Common yung y, factoring out y, we'll have y times the quantity 1 minus, diba? And 1. So 1 minus e sub 2 yung y, take out that. So you have that one. Equals this. So divide both sides by 1 minus e sub 2 e to the 4x squared plus 12x, and you're able to compute for y. So y now equals 2 plus ito, c sub 2 e to the 4x squared plus 12x all over, ito, i-divide mo yun siya, 1 minus e sub 2 e to the 4x squared plus 12x. Remember na meron tayong initial value. Diba? So yung initial value natin, we should substitute x equal to 0 and y equal to negative 1 into the general solution. So alternatively, we can put the same values into an earlier equation, namely this equation. Pwede man diri siya. Okay? Pero sa final answer, c sub 2 will now be y minus 2 over y plus 2 equals c sub 2 e to the 4x squared plus 12x. That should give us, substitute yung y equals negative 1 Yan. Y equals negative 1. Yan. And substitute yung x equal to 0. Ito. C sub to e to the, ito 4 times 0 squared. Give you e to the 0. Kasi 12 times 0, 0 pa rin. But what is e to the 0? 1. So, ang C sub 2 ninyo is this. Negative 2 minus 2 over positive 1, which is negative 3. So, ultimately, you have C sub 2 equals negative 3. Then, balik na pod mo sa original, kay i-substitute na pod mo. So, solution to the initial value problem is now, okay, 2 minus 6e to the 4x squared plus 12x all over 1 plus 3e to the 4x squared plus 12x. So, gamitan ninyo ng negative 3 ninyo na value. Okay? Your activity 4.2 is due on, diba, may assignment naman kayo for Monday and for Wednesday. So, this will be due on Thursday next week. So, madali lang naman ito actually, basta naintindihan nyo yung topic ngayon. So, nung ibig sabihin nito, you take the derivative, or this is your dy dx, tapos xe to the y minus, be sure you're able to separate yung variables. Huh? May y dito, tapos may x squared. So, there are some mathematical tricks that is involved. Algebra lang naman yun. Baka nalimutan ninyo. Ito walang problema kasi sin x, sin y, dx. Madali lang ito mag-separate ng variable. Diba? Ito naman, ang hint dito, okay. This one is considered a constant. Tapos to r squared, dr, tapos r cube. Oh. Sin theta, d theta naman yan. So, ma-separate pa rin ang variable. Dapat, kunyari, dr dito sa kabila, may mga r. Dito sa kabila, theta, may mga theta. No? D theta. Ito lang, you have to recall ang formula ng integral ng tangent squared. Tapos, ito, ang hint dito is that, dapat, alam nyo na ang powers of sine, di ba? Meron tayong powers of sine, integrals of powers of sine. Nilagay ko man din yung source. You can actually integrals of powers of sine. Ma-review ninyo. Makakalimot na mo na ay dire. Integrals involving powers of tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. So, nanay powers of tangent. Prior to this, merong integrals involving powers of sine and cosine also. So, you can take a look at these video clips. Kung nalimutan na ninyo yung mga integration formulas. At saka paano integrate. So we are through. Let me just escape. Since i-keep na natin yung annotation, I think. And keep the annotations. So let me just go back to your activity para ma-post natin. So your activity 4.2, this will now be due on Wednesday new. Isali ko na lang yung title niya para tandaan ninyo na dito siya na topic na nasa separable differential equations. Okay, copy. So that will be your activity due on. Put on your camera so that I can take a picture for your attendance. This is activity due on Thursday next week. Thursday. November 24. Ayan. So if you take a look at this, let's just end muna yung recording. Tapos naman ng topic. Oh, by the way, may questions? Clarification sa topic natin ngayon? And picture muna tayo. Stop presenting. Okay, I can see Michelle, si Regina, si Lucy, si Daryl Rose. Sino kasama mo, Rose? Sino tong kasama mo, Rose? Si? Saan kayo ngayon? Ha, Rose? Dalawa man kayo. Classmates kayo. I can see Jan, tapos si Patria Angelica.
Si Vanessa, ma'am.
Okay. Si Pat. Kinsi kauban ni mo, Pat?
Hi, ma'am. Si Ariel, ma'am.
Si Ariel. Si Bay. Solo si Bay. Si Sweet. Sa balay pa ka Sweet. Si Francis. Si Robert. Francis. Si Wishni. Nico, I cannot see you. Si Johaima. Calling sa Johaima. To the rest, so there are only 20 of you. Sige, picture ta. Print, smile everyone. Print screen. And then, let us put your picture here. Your class. Today is November
17.
17. Yan. Stop recording ako. Baka may mga questions kayo.